Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. So today we're going to be doing another bear tutorial. Bear ends up being about like that 15 to 16 inch range, and it's going to be a fishing bear. So he stands like this, and you can have either a fishing rod or you can put a flag in there, whatever you want to do. Just for the video, I got a stick in there. Eventually we'll tie a string and we'll have a fish. Today though, we're going to go through, we're going to carve up a bear just like this and get it to this point. So be sure to give the video a thumbs up, hit subscribe if you haven't already, start making some sawdust. Hey everybody, real quick before we get started, I will have a first person view right here down on the saw so you guys can see all the cuts. Once I start cutting, it'll be a full voiceover step-by-step tutorial. Now if you want to become a member, get the extra features, get the extended cut version of these tutorials, you guys can find a link to that below this video or on the main channel deal here, and it says join or membership. You guys can go see what it's all about. The tutorial tier is the tier you get the extra cuts or extended cuts, just so everyone knows. Now today I'll be running my MS250 and we'll be running the MS170 with a dime tip bar on it. We're also going to use some die grinders with different bits, which I'll show you as we go along. And like I said, this log's about 15-16 inches tall. It's about 8 to 9 across, just so you guys have a good idea of like what we're working with. These bears aren't huge, but they're pretty good sellers. Like usual, members will discuss price point a little bit and those sort of things in the extra details like we've done in the past tutorial videos. Everybody else, be sure to stick around. Make sure if you're following along, you're wearing safety gear, chaps, safety boots, ear protection, eye protection, dust mask, gloves. Safety is in your hands. It's up to you to be safe and take your time and learn in safety. So I really can't stress that enough. You have a very sharp tool running really fast, so be safe. With that, yeah, let's get into this thing. Let's start making some sawdust. Let's make a neat piece.
All right, guys, get that safety gear on, chaps, boots, all that good stuff we just talked about, and make sure that saw is sharp. First thing I like to do, rip that saw right around the bottom, going in about 1/4 inch or so. Just gives me a cut line, tells me where the base is going to be. All right. Jumping right to the top, doing an angled wedge cut back. Pop that piece out. And come in from the sides. You're kind of cutting in and rounding down. That will be where your ears are going to be. Jumping right around to the front, we do an angle cut back to the ear line. All right, you don't want to overcut here, you'll mess your ear up. So use the nose, come in, cut to that ear. Be careful of kickback. Always have a good grip on that saw. Pay attention to what you're doing. If you have to, see, come from the back side. Pop those chunks back out. You can also do any little cleanup at this time as well. Moving back around to the front, we got to think about like the forehead area. All right, so cut down, cut back. Actually, that was for the height of the ears, but about 1.5 inches down, and cut back to that line, cutting this piece out. Kind of has a wedge look to it. Remove it. All right, cutting in where the ears are going to be. We got to remove that material. Should be kicking that chain brake on and off when you guys are walking around. Make sure your feet are clear. Make sure there's nothing to trip over. Make sure you guys are being aware of your surroundings, and your area is way cleaner than mine. All right, don't get so comfortable that you leave a mess and you guys are tripping. There's always that good old saying, do as I say, not always as I do. And yeah, I know, lead by example, blah, blah, blah. Just be careful, all right? Be careful. You got a fast-running sharp saw. Be careful. We're making some angle cuts here behind the ears, coming all the way down to that original cut line. We're trimming the back, shoulders, butt, legs. That's what we're doing. Get rid of it. Make a cut across and trim that back piece off. Jumping around to the front of the piece, angling in, angling down, making the side of that snout, okay? Like we have in the past, come to the side, just kiss the side of the face and the cheek, in and out just a little bit. Feel that cut line out. You don't want to overcut into that snout, because then you automatically have to shape it to fit and work. But if you take your time, you don't have overcuts and you can shape it how you'd like. I like to go through using the nose of the bar around the top of the head here. You know, you can put in eyebrows, you can shape it back, you can kind of give them a little more of a facial expression if you guys want. Play around with it, make the piece yours. Once we clean up the top of that head, we need to think about the snout. So I did a straight cut down on the end, and I'm kind of doing like angling around instead of a straight cut across there, okay? Cleaning up those cheeks, just a little, kind of cleaning up. The snout's a little wide. I like them to be just a little more narrow, but it's okay. The piece will work. Somebody will love it. He'll still be cute. Upcut, boom. Thinking about the chest and arm area, so I'm cutting across, but not all the way. We need to leave a space over there for a paw that can hold that fishing rod, so keep that in mind as you're carving. Upcut. Another upcut. Alright, moving in here for an arm. Little line down, little line across. That line across is the top of the paw. Got to make him like he has a grip. Look at your fist. Put it in front of your chest. How does that arm look? That's what you're trying to create. Back of the arm coming down. Right? Trim it. Do what you got to do to make it work. Go just below the arm. In the side of the body, the hip area, the legs. Cut in. Follow that line using the nose. Be careful of kickback. Alright, you guys? That's where the saw is going to jump back toward your face. This is why you always make sure your chain brake's working. Make sure your saw is sharp because it actually cuts way better. And be safe. I am running 3/8 pitch 43 gauge chain with a bar that accepts that on my MS-250. This is not 50 gauge chain, so I'm not dealing with it grabbing a lot. I'm not dealing with a ton of kickback because this chain usually is a little bit safer. But I like it because it makes thinner cuts for smaller bears. So just throwing in a little angle here to kind of define, down, like the top of the elbow area. So you can get into that arm and that chest area just to define it a little bit more. Little cuts. Make little cuts until you're more comfortable to make big cuts, all right? That's kind of how it works. You get better, you get faster, you'll be able to make some big cuts, knock out, quite a bit of carving all in one rip. You don't have to make so many little adjustments. You'll get there eventually. I have days where I'm like, man, I'm making way too many little cuts, and I have days where I'm able to make just a couple big cuts and the piece is blocked out in a matter of minutes. So it's all about practice. I don't get as much practice time in as I would like sometimes because I still work a full-time job, but hey, we do what we can. Create when you can create because you enjoy it. So quick angle cut in, top of the arm. Cutting down to that original cut line for the side of the body. Just trimming the back fat there a little bit. Coming back at an angle to come to the, right there, right? See that wedge piece? Got to get rid of that. Gone. All right, kind of clean up around, define that paw that's going to be curled around the fishing rod, just below it. Remember, guys, look at both sides of the screen here. You get a bunch of different angles. So now we're going to kind of angle down, but not all the way down. You got to stop short so you can make the top of the foot. Same on this side. Angle down, stop short, up cut, top of the foot. And this kind of comes in like, now you can sort of, what do you want to do for that body? You want taller legs, you want a belly that hangs over. You can kind of shape the front of that, however you want. Play around with it. Make the piece yours. Trimming this arm and this side. Clean it up. Use the nose of that bar and just kind of clean them up however you see fit. So we're getting in here, kind of making like a triangle cut, right? Wedge cut in the front. We got to remove this material. This is one of those bears that'll go to a local store for me. So I got to like clean this out and make a cut all the way through so they can run a cable or a small chain between the legs. They like to, people like to, chain these things up so nobody can steal them from their shop. This would be a shop, I sell on consignment. So using the nose of your bar, you're just kind of cleaning up. Go in, make it a little wider. Do whatever you got to do really to clean the piece up. I mean, these little fine details, a lot of this is just feeling it out, depending on how your piece looks and all that kind of stuff. So even a step you could potentially skip if you wanted. Move around to the back, find that cut line, angle down, Shape the back of that leg a little bit. All right. Trim it out. Keep going in, making little cuts and just sort of widen it and, clean it up. Use the nose of that bar and clean it up. Moving up to the snout, using the nose of the dime tip bar. We're just kind of rounding the nose there and up to where the eye will be. So hitting this corner, going from the back to the nose and then up into the face. It's like a scraping motion, right? Shape in those eyebrows if you'd like. And we're kind of getting ready to move into detail work here. All right, holding the saw at an angle. Do some lines for the nose like we've done in past videos. Round up to that line. Now guys, different techniques can be done. Different carvers do it different, make it work for you. I didn't like that little nose, so I just swiped it off, making it a little bigger. This is why all my bears look a little different. I'm not worried about keeping the same pattern. With the saw, I'm just making a quick angled up cut for that mouth. We're not really doing a whole lot with it today. We're just doing a real basic, simple mouth right there. Cleaning up, rounding the top of the snout. Doing a little bit of an undercut so those lips hang over that lower jaw. Kind of clean it up, round it over. Well, it jumped ahead a little bit here about using the saw at an angle, dime tip bar, just kind of cutting in where the nails or the fingers will be, for each one. Take your time. This is in like 1.5 speed so that we can get through this video fairly quick, all right? And members, it'll be more of a real-time carve. It'll be slowed down quite a bit with a little more talking and a little more detailed sort of description. So just so you guys can keep that in mind if you're a member and you're paying for the tutorial tier here on my members page, there'll be some extra features. So just keep an eye out for that. All right, using the dime tip bar, using the side of the teeth on the chain, we're cutting in some fur. You guys have seen this done a bunch of times, but use it at an angle. We can do up cuts, down cuts, work the fur in different ways and different patterns. Do a bunch of practice with this, all right? Get it down. Get it to the way you like it or to the way you see customers prefer it. If people comment on your work, just work on this, all right? By now, your forearms are burning. You've been running this saw for a little while. And then to finish a bear, via this pattern, you're going to have forearm burn. So if you have to, stop, all right? Take a break. Let your arms rest. Come back and fur the bear up. All right, guys, quick look. 1/4 inch shaft, 1/2 inch burr, green, coarse burr from Saburrtooth.com. This is my favorite one. Use this on like every project. Use it to round over those ears, clean up that snout, clean up your nails, clean up any other little spot you want. Fur, super, super versatile. Just make the piece yours, make a line inside those ears and play around with it. Do your thing, right? Let your artistic creativity go to town and clean them up. Use the nose of the burr to pop in some nostrils in your bear as well. Use that to clean up around that mouth, kind of clean up around here. You can use it to rough in or outline some eyebrows above where the eye is going to be. All sorts of things for you guys to play around with and really just make the piece your own and be creative with it. After that cleanup and detailing, we're jumping into a 1/4 inch shaft, 1/2 inch cross cutter burr from Saburrtooth. These things are great. I helped them design this. We worked together on this project, creating these cross cutter burrs, and they work awesome for just punching in those eyes. Look at that, boom, one, done. Burn it in. It kind of makes the wood a little bit stronger right there from the heat. Pop them in there, done. These things work awesome, guys. Cross cutter burr from Saburrtooth, so you guys can check those out. And moving back into just the 1/2 inch burr, you can do some eyebrows, clean up around the eyes. This can be a very, very versatile and useful tool, and it works great. It really does. It doesn't cut too fast. It doesn't cut too slow, in my opinion. It gives you just enough control for those detailed spots. So go in, clean up, do what you got to do what you want to do. Make this your design, you know. Take the time and practice, perfect your skill, and make your art your art. Oh yeah, and wear gloves. As you can see there, I let the tool kind of bit me there a little bit. Kind of a bummer, but it happens. All right, guys, good time. Bust out the torch and run it all over, burn your bear. This is a really green piece. The wood's really wet, okay? It's actually still frozen because of the weather this time of year, so it's hard to burn. You can use the 1 pound cylinder tank torches, and they work fine. Just takes a little longer to burn. In this case, I'm using a turbo torch hooked to a 20-pound grill tank. You get a little more pressure, flame seems to be a little hotter, it burns a little bit quicker. So burn it up, guys, and then we'll move into flap sanding. All right, guys, flap sander. This thing works great. It's called the Sandoflex. The extended shaft you see there is something me and a buddy are working on developing. Sick and tired of my Sandoflex wrapping around the cord to my drill and ripping it off, and I got to keep rewiring it. It's got a little nice grip on there, as you guys can see, running it barehanded. It just gives you a good behind the back trick. Yeehaw. But it's a cool tool. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. Like I said, it's in development. We are currently working on it. Just let me know below how many people would be interested in this. As we continue to design and perfect it, it will eventually be something that's available. So another cool thing is the 1/4-inch shaft Saburrtooth burrs do fit in there. So lots and lots of potential for this thing. Once we get it honed in, I will make a piece and we'll use it. We'll use it a lot. So let me know. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think of that extension, if it's something you'd be interested in or not. A little bit of black paint, getting him done. All right, guys, scrap of wood, just an old cutoff. Grab yourself a Dixon wood crayon or whatever you've got to draw. Rough out a really quick fish on there, and then hopefully you got a jaw horse, because we're going to need to clamp this thing down good and tight. Once that fish is done, clamp it in the jaw horse. Start kind of making, some rounded lines. You can make straight cuts, but you got to go straight through. Try to keep that angle the same when you go through, okay? I'm using the dime tip bar. You could use your regular saw here, whatever you want to do. Make cuts, go in, make cuts, rough out your fish. Don't cut the tail off, though. Leave that tail on there, okay? Boom, trimming them out. Good deal. Now go through, look at your fins. Let's slim the fins down. Let's round over some angles. Use the nose of that dime tip bar. If that's what you're using right now, it makes life easier. If not, you might be able to get away with a smaller bar, 43 gauge chain kind of deal, and clean it up. Keep it sharp here, okay? You don't want super grabby stuff. You want a good sharp chain. All right, see the fins? Do it on both sides. This is going to hang from a string on the pole. That means it's going to spin if it's a little windy. You want both sides to look decent. Why do just one? Do both. It's scrap wood, so these are something you guys could just practice completely on their own if you wanted. Knock a whole mess of them out in a day. Whatever. Some angle cutting down for that tail. Now, well, it is a good idea actually to grab the die grinder right now and just detail it up. So in a few minutes I'll show you what detailing looks like before you cut this tail off. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead, put some lines on your fins. All right, both sides, using the nose of that bar, just using the side of it. I'm angle cutting down to release the fish from the base. But again, if you jump in, grab that die grinder and detail this fish, before you do that, clean up the hard edges. That's what I'm doing here. It makes life a little easier because you don't have to worry about clamping down and breaking your tail off. So, yeah, I got a little ahead of myself. Doesn't mean you have to. But round out your edges, clean up your lines, kind of sand it with that 1/4-inch shaft, 1/2-inch green coarse Saburrtooth burr. Cut in a mouth. You can use this to kind of cut in some quick, simple eyes. Whatever, make it look like a fish, or just sand it down and keep it super, super simple. It's really up to you. Again, make this carving your own. Hopefully this is just helping you get started, helping you make some really fun, cool pieces, something you guys can get some real joy out of, We're in this crazy, crazy time, so creating art, I know, helps me relax, help me refresh my mindset and my thoughts, and it's also nice to make a little bit of money on the side when a piece sells. But it doesn't always have to be about making money, right? If this piece sells or not, totally content just making it. having fun, sharing it with you guys. It's always great to make a few bucks, you know, family to support, bills to pay. But at the same time, this is a huge release. Huge, you know, just a getaway. Relaxing right here. Truly is. All right, jumping ahead, grabbed a drill bit, drilling a hole right through the mouth. Members, we will be detailing this fish a little bit farther. I've got some ideas and some steps for you, so keep an eye out for that. There's also another extra detail on the bear and the carving you guys will find once I get that video up. Put a string in there, put a stick in his hand, tie it up. You guys are done. Done.
All right, guys, so here he is, chainsaw carved fish and bear. Hopefully the tutorial will help you make something similar or the same. Obviously, you guys can hit the fish with the torch, a little paint, do some more detailing if you want. Whatever you guys choose to do is up to you. Make the piece your own. If this is helping you guys out, you can share pictures with me on Facebook on a page I've put together just for this channel, and it's Kyle Hall Woodworker New Carvers. There's a link down below in the description. You guys can go there, share your progress, and if everybody wants, we'll put together a new carvers video and get that out there for everyone else to be encouraged and to enjoy. Now, obviously there's a lot of different cuts and things like that going on, so again, I just got to stress safety. Make sure you're being safe, you know, when you're running chainsaws. Be comfortable with the saw. Don't just go buy one, never using one, and do this for the first time. Get a saw, get comfortable with it, okay? I really recommend people who already are fairly comfortable with chainsaw carving. It's a good idea to kind of know your way around it before you start wielding the thing around like a crazy hot knife, okay? So be sure to give this video a thumbs up, hit subscribe if you guys haven't already. Check out some other videos popping up. Check out the links down below. And a big thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. All right, guys, well, thank you guys for watching that video. And you know what, real quick before I go, I got to give out some big shout outs. Recently I've jumped up to having 6 members. Members are different than subs. Members help support the channel financially, and you know what, I think it's important to give a shout out, because for me it is a big deal that you're jumping on to help support this channel, whether it's $1.99, $4.99, or even $9.99 a month. Buy me a cup of coffee, show you're a big fan, or you're here for the extended cut tutorials. And yes, I do have to pull up a list because I'm not good with names, and I want to make sure I read them off correctly, okay? So, according to this list, this is who I've got as channel members as of right now today. Really, guys, thank you. It's humbling that anyone just does this, and it means a lot. It really does. So, Skella Elvis, Mark Barrowcliff, Colin Smith, Paul Jones, Francis Bislin, and Jennifer Berry. You all rock. You really do. It means a lot to me that you're helping support this channel just financially in this manner. And you know what? I really do appreciate it, guys. So keep an eye out for the extended cut of this video. It's there for you guys. It'll be a whole new voiceover. A couple extra little features that aren't in this video will be in the next one for you guys. I want to thank you guys for helping support the channel. And I also want to thank all of you that are watching, all of my subscribers, everybody that gives a thumbs up and hits subscribe is learning from these videos. If you can't become a member, that's fine. That's cool. That's why this video is here for you, because you guys mean a lot to me as well. You hitting subscribe, you watching, you learning, it's all important stuff, and it all means a lot. It really does. You guys are giving me this outlet to be able to share my art with you, to be able to help you transform your abilities into something, you know, a little bit better. Maybe something you can get joy from, or something you can create and just make a little bit of side cash from, or maybe even go full-blown, full-time, full business. Who knows, right? The sky's the limit. Do your thing. But you guys rock. All of you do. Everyone. Subscribers, members. It means a lot. It really does. I'm kind of like lost for words other than saying it means a lot, and it's humbling. But I just need you all to know that it really is important to me, and it means a lot. So keep an eye out for the next video, guys. There's videos popping up here now probably, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.